we talk about digital twins, we also had to embrace whatever has happened so far in artificial intelligence, right? And especially, we have started using so many generative AI tools, and some of you might have researched which tool is better in which occasion, whenever you are doing some data analytics related project, or if you are doing something in DevOps or machine learning flow, continuous learning happens. So how can I ponder and get like prompting, basically prompt engineering if you're versatile and if you know, right, most of the things, then certainly you can exploit and use the artificial intelligence along with digital twins. So how can we use these two together in order to create virtual copies to predict the future, even whatever is happening in Bangalore. Okay, so with the surveillance camera installed, artificial intelligence enabled surveillance cameras, so how we can get to know the traffic, so what are the improvements that people can do. So thing is, there should be a infrastructure that is available already, and once you have the necessary infrastructure and necessary skills, right, certainly we can go ahead and make the Bangalore the choice for everyone. So that's what I feel. A quick question, right? So maybe you can take up your mobile. So what is one word that comes to your mind when you hear digital twin? You can join, and then, so let's see how the word cloud is getting built. So let the session be interactive. So by the way, I'm also a patent agent. So if you have some ideas and you would like to patent it under Government of India, certainly you can reach me out. So can I pronounce it as every advantage or many advantage, or what is that, Xvantage? So what is that? Can you? Okay. So what does it do? I'm not aware of it. Okay, so what for? What kind of automation?
Any customer or vendor that need to approach India can directly go to Exported and get all everything done.
Okay. That's nice to hear. No idea, model replica, my virtual duplicate. Awesome. Yeah, so that's what we are aiming at. Identical behavior or similar functionality, human copy by machine. Agent helping me being efficient. Excellent. Yes. Maybe you can build your own agent so that whatever is the day-to-day work, so that you can automate. Even you have the tools for it. So if you just explore the generative AI tools, then certainly you can build in minutes your own agent. Awesome. Okay, so that's the good observation and recollection. So let's move forward. So how it all began. So digital twin is a virtual representation of a physical asset, process, or a complete system. Okay? So I can make a simulation in real time. Okay, so what is that? We have heard in 1960s itself, flight simulation. Right, so how it is different from the ordinary simulation? You know that in the simulation, we just take the historical data and how to deal with a dangerous situation. So they would have simulated the setup, right? if you go to Collins Airspace, you can see the flight simulation and how they, train the pilot before they take up the real, aircraft or airplane. So that's what we have learned in the past. And what is that evolved over a period of time is, it's not only about the history, but also in real time, whatever data that is getting collected. So that can help me in order to choose a particular version which is predominant and it would work continuously without degradation in the performance. So likewise, I can choose whatever is apt or appropriate for my needs. So that's what this is coined by Dr. Michael Greaves, so from the University of Michigan. So in 2002, okay, so he laid a theoretical groundwork. However, it all picked up in 2010 when NASA, they have used this training when they have used the Apollo aircraft and there was some issues, and in order to fix that particular issue, they have used this training technology. Right. So what exactly is digital twin? So whenever we look at this, so it can be considered to be a virtual replica, as ma'am has rightly pointed out, a virtual replica of me. So maybe I'm in 40s and I wanted to know my health parameters and organs, whether it is functioning 100% well, or do I require a self-introspection with the healthcare professional alongside, right, with me. So that being the case, certainly I require some personal care for my individual, study, and then based on my organs and its functionality, I can go ahead and take the prescription or the medical attention from the healthcare professional. So this is what is happening? So it's just not a virtual replica of you and what happens in your body, right? And what is your genetic, right, the genes, okay, and how it is getting integrated whenever something is prescribed to you because of your sickness. So is it affecting me? So in order to study further, what I require is real-time data. So which would help me for continuous synchronization with the physical, that's me, physical counterpart. So it is getting studied. Then also we are exploiting the predictive power. So ability to simulate scenarios and forecast outcomes. It's not only like reactive maintenance, even in your software terms, you might have seen reactive maintenance. If something goes wrong in the production, then only I'll make it to fix the bug or whatever. The customer would have escalated it and you need to serve the change request according to the intensity of it. Right? Some of the things you can ignore, but some of the things, if it is catastrophic, right, or it is going to affect the financial transaction, then certainly I have to pay attention and take it to the highest priority and fix it. So here what we are going to do, so with the help of the continuous data that is getting recorded every now and then, so what can I do? I can do proactive maintenance. Before that particular system fails, I know what to be done and how to fix it. Okay, so this is applicable not only for the software industry, any industry, and this particular digital twin is succeeded in manufacturing domain and they are implementing in other domains as well. Right, so how familiar are you with the concept of digital twins? So maybe it takes time, actually it should build, for the last one, it should build the word cloud, but it's all unique. There is no frequency of recurrence of the same word. So you're unique guys. So that's awesome. So some of you say that, right, 14% of you, right? That sounds really, I have an opportunity to explain and make you understand and where you can really pitch in this particular technology which has revolutionized and made success stories in multiple domains. Right, thank you for that. Right, so the AI connection, why digital twin need AI? So I heard some of you introduce yourself and you said that you're lazy, but still you try to explore the artificial intelligence domain and whatever is happening. So that's an awesome note. So that's why, since we are lazy, then the lazy person will try to do a smart work with a limited time, whatever is available, by exploring the technology. Right? It's not necessary that you have to be, hardworking these days. You need to know which door to knock and to get the needs done. Yeah. So if you look at the AI connection, so dynamic adaptation, right? So whenever I wanted to learn from the real-time data, and once from the sensors I've learned it, and using the machine learning algorithms, what I can do, I can dynamically make the system adapt to that particular situation. So that's what is happening there. And complex behavior simulation. Something is not possible to attempt in reality. So those scenarios, I can try to do it in the twin. So that's what is complex behavior simulation. And you guys, if you are from the DevOps, certainly you might have also explored machine learning ops. And there you might have learned about ML flow. So how I can also, so once you have come up with a predictive model, so you don't leave it as it is. So what do? You just pump in many data again and again until my model is performing the way I expected it to do. Right? So that's when what is required, the continuous learning. We, ITNs or the IT academician, so we tend to adapt to the changing environment and continuously learn and accelerate our journey. Is it not? So I cannot go to my class and say, okay, let me teach C++. Right? Turbo C, Borland C, or C++. You guys also have that impression, right? As soon as they introduce me that she is a professor from so and so college. But still, we cannot go and then say, okay, so this is how I'm going to teach. No, I have to change the way I teach. I use notebook LM, right? What for? So I just create a mind map and I also tell my students, so whatever notes or whatever they refer the online material, you pump in to the notebook LM and then you come out with the mind map. So the mind map is an awesome way to learn and register the concepts and the key terms. Right? And coming to C++, I cannot go and teach, with the compiler installed in my system. What do? I just use any online compiler, whatever is available. Okay, and also in order to prepare them for the interview, maybe campus interview, I can go for multiple tools, whatever is available, right? HackerRank and the Mimir. Okay, so these are some of the things, and lead code like that. There are so many opportunities available. As I said earlier, you just have to be smart. Yeah. So the machine learning algorithm improve prediction over time by learning from new data and outcomes. So there are some things that I have put it in as a small font. So maybe I can share this so that you can scan through it, skim through these later. Right. Physical reality versus digital twin, the real-time mirroring. So here I've just taken an example of manufacturing facilities, the entire production pipeline. If I wanted to monitor and see where there is a possibility of the failure, and that can be determined well in advance in hours or days before that actual failure occurs. So only thing is we need to have a proper infrastructure and the IoT based sensor, and some of you were mentioning about the IoT too, right? But I didn't look at the face, I was just hearing you out. Yeah, so this is basically, in order to monitor, right, the entire pipeline, and whenever some of the machines is not working in the manufacturing industry, how can we get to know? Certainly the digital twin comes handy in there, right? So that's what is said by Dr. Rajiv. Digital twins powered by AI don't just monitor the present, they predict the future and prescribe optimizations that human expert might never discover. So if you have already explored and if you are a domain expert in artificial intelligence, then certainly you might have come across some of the terms, the predictive analytics, right? What happens and continuous learning, and here hidden patterns. So whenever I consider a particular data set and I do not know from the summary statistics, I cannot get to know all the details from the data set. So that's when what do? I just dig deeper, apply a particular or set of machine learning algorithms in order to discover the hidden patterns. Certainly, if I do not have a supervised algorithm, I shall go ahead and then use unsupervised algorithms. So this, I did mention it. This is for you to scan through the origin and evolution of digital twins. Right? So though, Dr. Michael has coined this particular concept and named digital twin, that particular terminology has been coined by this particular gentleman. And then in 2010, it was witnessed and it was effectively used by NASA. Right. So this particular person, he said that the digital twin integrates our best model. So what they have done, they have kept on simulating that whatever is happening in the space. And then they considered whatever parameters that would be appropriate. So that's what our best practices for the data usage and analysis, creating a powerful framework for engineering and operational decisions. So the best parameters would be taken out in order to mimic in the whatever has been done in the mirror world would be put into practice. So that's what John Wicker, who is a pioneer in digital twin, has said it, and further details about him, what he was and what he has advised. So it is not one discipline. So it is basically interdisciplinary concept which includes IoT, edge computing, cloud computing. So name it, everything is integrated together in order to come out with the twin model of the reality or the physical world. Right. So the AI revolution in digital twin. So we know how to monitor what is happening in the real time, right? So that is traditional monitoring. So what do? We know that we can mimic, we can bring everything in my computer or in my cloud infrastructure. So once have brought in, so what I can do with AI? So AI enhanced digital twin or AI powered digital twins. It helps me to predict insights and forecast. That is, see, down the line in 24 hours, there will be a system crash. If that announcement has come, long back we had a time, right? All the Microsoft system got shut down, right? So that kind of situation could have been avoided, and we could have avoided millions and billions of dollars. Okay, so that got down in the market that particular day. Yeah, the future outcomes, proactive system optimization. So instead of reacting to the situation, sometimes we as a human beings, this is what we learn, right? We have to be proactive. So that's what is happening here. So the AI transforms digital twins from passive mirrors into intelligent advisors that learn, predict, and recommend actions to prevent failure and optimize the performance. See, too many things, right? It is trying to do for us to be lazy. So once I have set up everything, yeah, I can continue my journey without any hassle. Yeah, right. So what if you could test every release in the mirror world before risking the production? Maybe most of you might have seen, and you might have also addressed the client queries. Yeah. So if there is a twin technology existing for every system that is being developed, you have an AI-enabled digital twin. So certainly that would help. That would come handy, is it not? What do you think? What is your perception about this?
That would be great.
That would be really awesome. Great. Yeah.
Cost saving.
Cost saving. Excellent. Yeah, and we are trying to accelerate our journey and cope up with the changing world, changing technology, and that's why this AI meetup, I believe if I'm correct, is scheduled today to understand the basics as well as understand what are the success stories and how exactly it will help us to save the cost, especially the consultant company can also extend their consultancy services in this particular area. So we always believe in numbers, as he rightly said. I guess he has read my slides, by the way.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't.
I know, I haven't shared. Yeah. Right. So this particular slide, it gives you a statistics, and we are in the right direction. And we are trying to understand what is the revolutions that's happening, and we wanted to be part of it, part of the journey. Yeah. So you can see the number, and especially I'm interested the failure reduction. So average decrease in system failures with the digital twin implementation. Though there is some expenditure, but it is going to be operational expenditure, and some of you are very good in DevOps. Yeah, so you know that instead of capital expenditure, with the operational expenditure, if you can implement the twinning, then certainly you can reduce the failures. Right, let me know if I'm running. Yes.
But to set up a digital income, there will be a CapEx also, right?
Yeah, so everything you can have it. See, if you have an on-premise infrastructure, then you can just make that as a foundation, and whatever is the sensitive data that you want, you can put it in the private, and whatever you want to put it in the public with some of the services. I did go through the company's website. They have tie-up with all the major cloud service providers, namely AWS, Google, and the Microsoft Azure. So that being the case, you go for a hybridized cloud. Yes, certainly you require it, but not always. It depends on what is required and what kind of system that you are going to train. Yeah, I hope I have answered your question. Yeah. So this I have covered already. Yeah. So what exactly is the digital twin feedback loop? So normally in the DevOps, what happens, so here you have the data that is being collected from the physical system, generate the data, then digital twin replicates the state, that particular state, and it kept on recording what is happening in the real world, in the physical system here, or in the process, in the entity, whatever it could be. The entity could be the person, the live human. Yeah. So then AI analyzes and predicts. Then you can come out with the decisions and optimize the decisions that you are trying to make. So this is basically, continuous cycle. So that's what is happening. Right, so having understood about what exactly is a digital twin and how we can fuse AI with digital twin model, now it's time for us to understand a technology stack. Okay, so that helps in building the digital twin with AI infused. So the first layer, if you see, we require the IoT, and you know that IoT works. So Internet of Things, right? So what Internet of Things, right? What exactly is the basic requirements if the sensor should work and pull in the data?
Internet with sensors.
Yeah. So that's basic thing. So the physical data needs to be captured, and there are different sensors. Okay, so we need to have an idea what are the sensors available in the market and which would be appropriate for my problem, whatever I've chosen, in order to monitor, and then using the network, I pull in the data and store it into the cloud storage, right? Then once I streamed the data in real time, so what I need to do, I had to consolidate. And I'm not just sticking on to the historical snapshot because it is continuous streaming of the real-time data. So whether it could be agriculture, right? So any type of platform, I get the data frequently pumped in, and then it has the real-time snapshot, can I say? No, the real-time data. So it is not a historical snapshot, right? So that is getting stored in the cloud storage, and then using the robust connectivity layer. So what I can do is I can decide what has to be processed in-house in the edge and what to be brought into the internet, to the cloud space. So that's when we also need to know about edge computing, right? So this is a base. On top of it, cloud and edge computing comes up as a layer 2. So which is required for the computing, right? And you have various services depending on the type of service provider that you have. You have, different processing, and you can have, if you're going for Amazon Web Services, you have various services, right? And also the storage model, whichever is appropriate for your problem, you can choose that. So here, the cloud platform provides a computational muscle for complex simulations, while edge computing enables real-time responses at the source, right? So this is how we need to distribute the load instead of pumping everything there, because there would be a delay and I wanted a real-time response as well. So that's when the edge computing comes into picture. Then scalable resources, the resource allocation, you know that, the elastic cloud. Okay, so where you have an auto scaling option. So what is that? You go for it, elastic compute cloud or whatever is the services that you use. Global accessibility. So cloud-based twins, if I have enabled, then certainly from anywhere in the world I can use it, right? It is not necessary I have to come to my office to continue my work for the day. Yeah, so the next one, interesting one, and people, in other countries, they have explored it and they have also built the digital twinning, especially with the virtual reality, VR, AR, especially, if I wanted, for example, the person in US, in their art experiment, if I want AI to co-perform with me, right? They have tried it and it worked. You understood? Before I go onto the stage and perform, I want to rehearse and I want to create a virtual space which would be similar to my real stage. And the AI would be co-performing with me, right? As a director, and I can be an actress. Yeah, so something like that. So that's what is possible. And AI/ML model, as you all know, it all evolved. When I did my master's, way back in 2000, right? So we had a course on pattern recognition still today. So whenever you want to learn something with AI or ML, the basic lies in pattern recognition, right? So that's the foundation for all the machine learning algorithms that evolved, and deep learning that has come into play, and then generative artificial intelligence that evolved, right? So here, if you see the pattern recognition, that helps to identify the trends, the patterns, and anomalies in the system behavior that human might miss. We cannot, determine all the errors. So that's when, though you are in the testing domain and you are the experienced tester, still you need to rely upon this. Yeah, and then the second one, predictive analytics. So in order to forecast, so that you can do a proactive maintenance, adaptive learning. So continuous learning happens. I'm not going in detail because Mukesh said that if you touch, it's fine. But each one is a core, and we need to dive deeper so that we get a better understanding and what is the cost involved in order to set up my own infrastructure if I want to mimic myself. Yeah, right. Data integration and visualization would be the last layer, because so anything if you just say orally, right? You need to have a beautiful story to just make your boss understand what is going on, right? With the visual insights, so that he would nod his head that, yes, I get it now, so let us go ahead with this, yeah? So that's when we require visual insights in order to come out with the decisions, right? So what are the challenges in this digital twin development? So certainly, whatever challenges that you would have seen in the cloud computing, right? So mainframe, cluster computing, grid computing, and then now we talk about cloud computing, and then we also talk about quantum computing, right? So what are the real challenges that you have seen in cloud computing? Also, there are solutions for it. Similarly, here we do talk about the challenges, interoperability. So if there is multiple service providers that you are having a tie-up, the vendor lock can come into place. So how to deal with that, right? So that's when the data interoperability, there we pull in the data and process the data with different service provider, or the data itself comes from different sources, and how do I need to reorganize it, restructure it so that it would be structured in the format that would be helping my whole infrastructure. So that's what is the first thing. And scalability limitation, yes, now with the cloud and various data servers around the globe, yes, this problem can be sorted out. Then So non-linear behavior. So it's basically, I would think that, yeah, so everything is getting recorded on in real time, everything is going smoothly. All of a sudden there is some problem, which is not anticipated in the physical world, but in the 12. Okay? So if there is a problem, what can be done? So though it is a challenge. So it can be solved amicably, right, within a limited time. So that's what we are aiming at, right? So according to 2023 survey by IIT Delhi's Center for Digital Transformation, they said that 67% of Indian enterprises cite data integration as their primary challenge. So once you have all the data, right? So that's the challenge I believe even you as a consultancy company, you might have faced in the past. Now you have figured it out how you need to address those challenges, right? Sometimes the experience speaks, yeah? Right. So now I would like to hear from you, what challenges do you foresee in implementing digital twin technology in your field?
I think you might also want to look at the information bias, because biasness is one of the greatest challenges in the entire world today, because what we feed it is what becomes the raw material for the AI to look upon.
Yes.
And knowingly, unknowingly, there are data which are biased with certain factors, which is kind of the biggest response as of now, as to how to clean those biases before feeding the same information to the AI.
Yeah, so it's a foundation should be strong so that the bias should be reduced, means we need to have a quality data. So that's when, data governance comes into picture, right? And you own the asset and you know what is right and what is wrong. You are the sole authority to say that this is the data that is recorded in my firm and certainly it doesn't have any erroneous data, right? So that's when the data governance comes into picture, right? So here, hallucination, yeah, certainly, but I felt, the hallucination is a bit tackled by perplexity, right, if you're worried. Yeah, so, and Comet, yeah, for that matter, if you have started using that particular browser, I feel that certainly that search engine with the AI assistant, everything in one umbrella, certainly it's going to lead, right? This is just my perception, right, my personal perception, no offense if you're from different companies. Yeah, so this is my personal perception. Let me look at what you have typed in. Return on investment, ROI, yeah. That is basically our challenge. We can predict to a certain extent. Yeah, the security, accuracy of the result, trust in the system. Yeah, building the trust. Yeah, so how you have built the trust in your company, similar line. Yeah. So the real-time data quality, cost plus industry mindshift. Yes, this I admit. So whether you are in industry or in academia, the mind shift. Some people would be very resistive to make a change, right? They don't understand and appreciate that only thing that is constant is change. And we need to embrace the change. So that's the key, right? The software engineers, or if you have led the team and now you have become a delivery manager or you are leading a particular company, what not. Right? Certainly this is the key, right? The only thing that is constant is change. Change is inevitable and you need to embrace the change, right? Right. Awesome. So these are there, but still, are we not going to embrace the digital twin with AI fused in it? Yes, we are ready to change the world. Yes, is it not? Yeah, that's the thing. So as I said, some of the ethical and security, so anything for that matter, we have to be considering some of the regulations act that we have, Indian. So if you are building a product for a nation, then you need to follow the nationwide, standards that you have to follow. Otherwise, if you are going for a global product, then certainly you have to follow the global standards and the regulatory acts. Yeah. So anybody who would like to cite some of the acts or some of the regulations that we have to follow, especially data privacy, and I believe that you all know about
GDPR, CAA,
yeah, yes. So you have so many regulations that need to be adhered to, and you also know that the security and the privacy is altogether two different things, and how we are going to embrace means adhere to the privacy of the individual. Right, and sometimes when we try, we also upload to the generative AI some of our medical report and other things. But anybody or being in the IT industry, I'm sure that you might have seen the personal settings and what is to be stored and what is to be, yeah? Have you gone to the personal setting and then you have fixed some of the things so that it won't be shared? So anyways, if you are on internet, then you are not private anymore. You have to be cautious what you are doing, yeah, and where it is getting recorded. Yeah. Yes. So I guess many of you might have watched the Silent Dilemma movie also. Right. So some of the case studies, if you permit me, and if there is time, yeah. Right. I'll go quickly.
One, like different type of data sets. We do not need a full copy of self everywhere in every city.
You can set it up. What needs to be pulled? See, anyhow, it is in your hand, right? You do not have a ditto. Then what is that it's going to do in addition to what you are doing?
Right. Then we like again, do we have some definition, some categories available of like what are the different categories of digital twin? Right?
Different.
Means for medical, we don't means if we are creating.
No, it goes with the domain. If you permit me, I would show you some of the twinning models that you can do in the healthcare, or so like that. Yeah. So I may not be, I'm not a right person to say what exactly is jargon that is used in the industry, because now I'm nowhere connected to the industry. However, I'm connected to different generative AI tools. I know how to do a smart work. Yeah. Right. So in the manufacturing sector, predictive maintenance revolution. So you see there are so many units that cost in crores, in millions, right? So that's when this particular, digital twinning technology comes into life. So what exactly is the challenge that is cited here? Manufacturing equipment failures cost companies millions in downtime, with traditional maintenance schedules often being too early, wasteful, or too late. Both things, no extremities, right? So that's when we go with digital twin solution. So sensors monitor vibration, temperature, and the performance metrics in real time. AI analyzes these patterns so people were using knowledge graph and other things before the existence of the digital twin as the technology which every individual can explore and implement. So if AI analyzes these patterns to predict when specific components will fail, enabling precise maintenance scheduling. So means it won't be delayed, it won't be early, it won't be too late. On time or well before time, I know what is to be done when something goes wrong. So at that point, I know how to deal with it, right? Yeah, or I can totally avoid. So these are some of the impacts, the measurable impacts. Okay, so then I go for digital twin solution. Right. So this is from the manufacturing, and by the way, this is a report that is taken from the Infotech Research group. In the notes page, I have given the link. So what exactly that you had to see, and they say that in 2026, that is next year, sorry, in 2026, manufacturers implementing AI-driven digital twins will achieve. So these are the percentage that is mentioned by Infotech Research Group report, right? In 2023, they have published, and this is what they say. Let us wait and watch whether it is coming to reality. Right. So coming to this particular, I've just filed a patent in India as well as in Germany. Right. So I'm not pretty sure whether it will be granted, but okay. So this is in the healthcare sector. So what exactly is that? Personalized patient care. So this is what I've been telling, because I did get some information from one of the companies where I'm working as a consultant. Okay, so the data collections where continuous monitoring of vital signs, genetic markers, and the lifestyle factors of. So this they were trying to do it for the diabetes patient, and this can be generalized as well. Yeah. So digital modeling, where the creation of the patient-specific digital twins that simulate individual physiology, like by recording all the bioparameters with the help of the biosensors. Treatment optimization, so testing drug, what is the prescription that I have to do, whether it is having a impact or it is risking the patient life. So all those things you can study, and predictive care. And this is where the aims, so how they have addressed the cardiological care. Okay, so that comes into picture. Yeah, right. So these are some of the things, and as I said, as I was mentioning, okay, AIMS in Delhi is developing cardiac digital twins that have improved the treatment planning for complex congenital heart defects by 31% according to their 2023 research publication. This paper is there, and you can also go over it. Right? And other than that, these are some of the areas where we can pitch in and draw insights. So first we come out with the idea. If we have the investors, we can go ahead and then kickstart with your startup. Yeah, so that's the thing. Right, so this is smart cities, even Earth. Okay, so TEDx, one of the professors from CMU, I guess, okay, she was mentioning, right, even what is happening in the Earth. So everything can we cover it with the digital twin? Yes, it's possible, but is it required? And what is the investment that is involved? So always there is a trade-off, right? So what is that you're going to get it out of it as a profit, benefits, right? And what is that you need to invest? So always there is a trade-off, so you need to work on it and then come out with this. And then, so this is what I was mentioning about University of Central Florida's AI and art experiment, right? And then you have AI chatbot for the ski baby sketch. So it's basically, basic NLP, right? So whenever you have the text or a speech and how it is based on your mood and emotions. Yeah. So that's one thing. And then, so this is the catch. I guess it's 2 minutes 52, and yeah. And varieties, yeah. Yeah. It's just, yeah. Turing test. Can you please check on this? I have given the link for this particular, because they have presented their performance in 2023 Edinburgh, right, festival, and they have
for everyone
showcased.
here, there is something called Turing test, where a person who, if it is talking to someone on the other side, in how much time he will be able to understand that he is talking to either a human or a machine. So that is a Turing test.
So that's what the basic is. It comes right whenever you log into any site to mention it in a layman term. So whenever you log into any site, sometimes are you a robot? There should be a checkbox, and you'll also get an image. So especially if you're using a Mac, yes, it's well proven, and no cookies, and even when you want to book a flight ticket, it won't be hiking every now and then. Yes, it's all taken care of. Yeah. So this is the last thing, the IT and the software. Right? So these are, I believe, you guys are awesome, and you know what are the, phases in which you can have the digital twin, and then it is not necessary that you have to have a mimic of the whole system as it is. That's when twinning, what level you are going to do, you can also decide. Yeah. Yes.
So, like you again mentioned about what you have done before.
Yes.
So, you told about healthcare, how this is going to impact healthcare. Right now, government is trying to do the same thing with ABBA portal and so on, like what they did with Aadhaar card. They are like bullish about their
Yeah,
idea.
SFH is coming up, and the government is,
Yeah.
encouraging with 168
They are
problem
literally
statements.
forced school to enroll their students with engage with this ABBA portal and so on.
Because, the idea comes from their minds, and that's what they believe in. This is an attempt, this is an initiative that they have taken.
Like I have just lost this opportunity. Even I had the same idea during the pandemic while the governments were booking COVID stuff. I got this idea. What if they're already getting a lot of data? What if we do something and figure it out and do something that would predict the future? So already I've lost, but I would like to know more about your project. Like my idea and your project idea is more of like aligning. I have literally made a word file. I'll show you later. I have some suggestions if I can join your project with this. I also have the same kind of idea.
Sure, yeah. Let's talk about it offline, like after this, yeah. Right, so these are some of the key areas, where you can work with the digital twin solution, enabled digital twin solutions. This is what, and Mukesh was pretty much interested to cover this particular slide, and I'm out of time, I guess.
No,
yeah. So it's fine.
5 minutes, definitely.
Yeah. So, right. So this is basically, the Salesforce CRM, right? Arena Pro, and what was the challenge and how they have used the digital twin approach. Okay, so that's what is put up here, and what are the environment benefits that they have achieved. And the result, what they have achieved is 95% accuracy rate in customer interaction. You know what exactly is the CRM, and this is what is the area they have worked with the digital twin technology, right? And 60% reduction in agent training time, 0 production incidents during AI agent rollout, right? So for this, I would say that you need to have a base on generative AI, and if you know basically NLP, generative AI, and then if you know what exactly is the agentic AI with a lot many tools around you, you can pick up a tool and just simplify. Perplexity is giving me I can attach the email, and whatever is the high priority email, it will consolidate and say what is that I need to do it for the day. End of the story. So like that, you can also build your own agents. Yeah. So based on your requirements, your needs, right? So these are the industry pioneers always, yeah, and then they are investing in billions. So let's have, we're all working, and these are some of the companies I've highlighted, like all the 3 pioneers in the cloud, and also IBM. Yes, catching up in the race. Likewise, you also have so many companies, like. If you are talking about the cloud infrastructure and subscription-based model, so other than the pioneers, so the popular service providers, we do have, the service provider which gave us with a feeble rate, but we do not know when it would delay, as he said, Turing test, it should fail, and there should not be any delay, and it should recognize that whether you are a human or chatbot. Yeah, so that is there always. Right, so what are the key takeaways especially in the IT industry, the evolution of IT operation with the help of digital twin and AI infused in it, right? So you need to observe the reality, what is happening in a real time, right? And then predict the outcomes, AI enhanced twins, which would forecast what will happen in future or in the near future, and shaping the results, so based on that, right? So how I can optimize the performance. So this is basically, and then why this matters for the IT professionals, and as a company who does back-end type of jobs, right? Like end-to-end solution, as well as the operational solution, operation DevOps enhancement and integration. right? So you can pitch in the area that is relevant to you. And so this is the question now. How quickly are we prepared to adapt or adopt digital twins to shape our future? First, yeah, anything and everything, yeah.
We are already there. I mean, it's already in the pipeline, and the organizations are already implementing this.
No, in bits and pieces, not in a full-fledged, on a larger
Mass
scale,
scale.
yeah,
Right.
larger scale. So that's what I'm trying to emphasize. We are already there, we have already defined the race, but whether we have settled down in the top 10 or not. So that's the question, and we are in the race, yes.
Yeah, so, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So, related to this digital twin, I think in terms of manufacturing, we are already there. Because when I was working with Toyota, Toyota is already implementing this in terms of the predictive analysis.
Okay.
So currently they are into one project where they use these IoT devices, these sensors. So what the sensors used to do is they used to get the raw data from the body parts of the car, like if from the engine, let's say there are sensors which are taking care of the engine oil temperature.
Yes.
Multiple things are there. So from this sensors, the raw data is sent through the IoT gateway to the digital twin of the body part, and then this data gets paired up with the property. Let's say for example, if we are having the temperature of engine oil, in the digital twin there will be a temperature of engine oil. So it's a property. So this is how they are getting linked.
Yeah, it's basically an attribute, one of the characteristics
Exactly.
of an
And
area.
then based on this data, when we are collaborating it with AI ML stuff, our models, then they predict based on the data. That okay, if the temperature is this much, in next 4 days, you need to change your engine oil or else there will be a breakdown with your car.
Yeah, you know what, even, we have a Tata car, okay? So it will always, alert us whenever there is a maintenance due or something, and there would be a sensor that would be triggered automatically, which would help you to go for the maintenance as per the schedule, right? But what happens, sometimes the sensor also won't work, okay? So we
Most of
need,
the times.
we need a manual reset. So after the service is done, somewhere, we also have to reset, right? And as a driver of the car, we do not know, right, how we need to go about. So what I'm trying to say is, whatever is recorded by the sensor also, sometimes, as you said, we had to look for the bias in the data and whether it is, of higher quality and that we can consider as it is. Yeah. So that is it, but it's not on a larger scale, by the way.
Exactly. But apart from this, even if we are somewhat prepared in terms of this manufacturing, we are not prepared in terms of software and IT. So that we need to think in that direction,
Yeah.
how we can go in that direction.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My
Yeah.
question, my question is with respect. My question is with respect to the fundamental digital. So from your talk, what I understood is a very typical bit. A real-time simulation is what we are calling a digital twin in tech world.
In that, data assimilation also comes into play.
Data simulation also.
Data assimilation.
Okay.
There is a difference. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out what is that which I see in real time which relates very closely with digital twins. So the first thing that comes to my mind is the Google Map. Is Google Map a digital twin based on your definitions?
No. How many of you agree?
No, it is not.
Why?
If I just
Why?
remove the
Why?
IoT part of it, if I just remove the IoT part of it, it gives me a real-time data of the streets with respect to the
How
streets.
many of you got lost when you have taken the Google map, to reach a particular spot?
That is just 0.001. That happens with every system in the
Don't
world.
say it. 0.001. Most of the time.
You mean you are saying that Google Map does not work as it is intended?
No, yes, it's not. If you ask me as an end user to review, I will give only 0 or 1 star.
Okay. Probably, okay.
No,
I'll still-
Google will not know which road is closed.
There is a scope for
Which road is closed, Google will not know. So I have faced it many times. The driver will say, that is your building. Yes, I cannot jump the wall.
Correct. Exactly. So you have to think, and it is not real time. It's not all real time. Okay,
let's help Manish. Manish wants you wanted an example, right? I will just try one example. Surveillance. You put a physical security guard and you put a camera to surveillance. It will give you alert who is crossing the line. Both will give you alert.
One question.
No, I say it's not real time, but it is part. Okay, it's not a mere simulation. The real time data should be there, and in Google Maps it's not happening.
Google Map basically tracks the traffic from the GPS navigation.
No, but user, that's what, data governance comes into play. User feedback you can consider as one of the parameters, but not as a whole parameter, right? Even, I can record multiple things on a Google map, right? I can also pin it, this is a location where I can go and do this or that. So multiple things I can do it, but can I trust all of it as it is? As an end user, of course, we do not have other opportunities, but if you're going to be a problem solver, you have to study and then take a call on that. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'm done. So these are, some of the aspects, and then I just quickly see, and it's all together, right? And